Good afternoon. I'm Marie Saavedra. Thank you for streaming with us here on CBS News Chicago. We're coming on the air live with you now after a federal judge has unsealed a redacted version of the affidavit used to justify the search at former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. We've had it here this afternoon. We've been going through it. We want to bring you some of the details and also some context. First, this is 38 pages long. It is heavily redacted, and for those of you who don't know, these redactions are these big black sections that you're going to see with sensitive information that the judge has ruled that should not be seen by the public. There are 11 pages in this document, fully blacked out. 24 of them are partially redacted. To sum up the document itself, at least the information that's available to us that we can read from it, this was stating that there is probable cause to believe that there was some sort of evidence of obstruction that would be found at Mar-a-Lago. So those are the big headlines right off the top, but we want to get a little deeper into this. So I'm joined now by CBS2 legal analyst Irv Miller, who is always our go-to in situations like this. Irv, thank you for being with us. I know you've had a chance to thumb through this, and I'd like to begin by defining for some of our viewers who are not necessarily legal eagles why this is such a big deal and really what we are looking at. So can you chart for us what is an affidavit in this investigative process, what we are seeing here?
An affidavit is a sworn statement under oath. Typically, in a case like this, it's written out by an FBI agent that swears before a judge certain facts that the agent believes are instrumentalities of a crime, documents, any type of evidence that could be used, fruits of a crime that they want to seize, and they need to get a search warrant from the judge. And the judge is only going to grant a search warrant if there's information in an affidavit that the judge believes provides probable cause to believe that the agents will find something that they're looking for, whether it be a fruit of a crime, as I said, or something illegal. And if the judge believes there's probable cause, he issues the search warrant. We know that that happened a couple of weeks ago. And today this affidavit was released, which the judge in its entirety read, not just the redacted portions, obviously, but read the entire thing. And the judge, at the end of reading this, came to the conclusion that there was probable cause for the FBI to go into Mar-a-Lago and search certain specified rooms at Mar-a-Lago looking for fruits of a crime that may have been committed.
Now, we understand at the heart of this investigation are these classified materials or information that is highly sensitive by some definition of the government. Redactions, though, aren't uncommon, correct? I mean, this is these blacking out of sentences and information is because there is content that either could theoretically threaten identifying someone or even giving out more information about the investigation than the judge or investigators feel comfortable with, correct?
Correct. You know, if nobody is ever charged with a crime in this situation, we will never get to see the full search warrant without the redactions, the affidavit without the redactions. Only if somebody gets charged with a crime will this affidavit in its entirety be turned over to the defense attorney for whoever gets charged. So that attorney can then possibly make a motion to quash the search warrant because they would say the judge really didn't have probable cause and therefore the search warrant should never have been issued. But like I said, if nobody gets charged, you're not going to see anything more than you're seeing today coming out of the Justice Department.
And since the beginning, I remember talking to you in the days after the search in Mar-a-Lago. We said we could learn a lot of information about this, not everything, but we could learn a lot, and it's still very possible that there will be no crime charged here.
Absolutely. You know, this document we received today basically leaves out anything of a substantive nature as to why the FBI thought that there would be a crime have been committed and what reason they went into Mar-a-Lago to try to prove that a crime had been committed. They could simply say, hey, listen, we just don't have proof that a crime was committed even after the search warrant and after these documents were recovered from Mar-a-Lago. So when you're looking at it from the perspective of a lawyer to try to determine if a client of yours is supposed to get charged or is potential liability, what we got today doesn't help at all. You can't make an intelligent decision on whether or not a crime is going to be charged based on what we received today.
Right. In the hours after the search, media outlets, including CBS News, started turning the wheels of asking and petitioning for the judge to release this affidavit. Irv, is it at all, is it uncommon, was the judge's decision to release, to unseal this redacted version a surprise to anyone? We're hearing a lot of talk about, is this release political? I'd love to get some perspective on you on how rare this is and what, if anything, we should take away from the judge's decision to put this out here.
Well, I can just tell you, I've been practicing criminal law for a long time. This is the first time I've seen a affidavit for a search warrant release prior to anyone being charged with a crime. Usually it just sits in the FBI files, or if it's a sealed document in the clerk's office, sealed, and it never sees the light of day. So because this is a case of public concern that involved the former president of the United States in the search of his house, I think it was justified that the judge did what he did for, I think the public has the right to know, sir. Including when you talk about confidential documents that may be out there that could be, put in the wrong hands. So I think you made the right decision. And frankly, when I read this document today, this affidavit, and I saw what was blacked out, frankly, I thought more would be blacked out than it was. I thought you'd have, maybe 1 or 2 pages of, narrative, and the rest would be black lines. So, but they didn't give away methods, they didn't give away informants, they didn't give away witnesses. So you really can't take a lot out of this as trying to make a decision about, where the case is going from here.
Right.
They give you a bare bones look at what the judge thought of this. Bottom line is he found probable cause to believe that there were going to be evidence of a crime, or fruits of a crime, or contraband at the president's home in Florida. And that's why he signed off on the search warrant.
So seeing this document, pretty unprecedented. If you could plot out what's next, and I know that's an impossible ask, but just in your experience, is it possible that we might not hear anything else or get any more information until we're hearing whether or not any sort of crime is being charged here? Because the investigation will continue. We're not likely to see any more information. This could be it for a while, I'm guessing, is what I'm asking you.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
One of 2 things is going to happen. Either somebody will be charged with a crime, or nobody will be charged with a crime. Mm-hmm. And if that happens, you will never, ever hear why the person was not charged with a crime, because the Department of Justice doesn't basically tell people you're in the clear. You just don't get indicted, and you just go on with your life.
CBS 2 legal analyst Irv Miller, always a pleasure to have you walk us through these events as they happen. Thank you for your time.